Hey 12s! If there's one thing that fires up the heart of Seahawks Nation, it's realizing that big changes are happening inside this team. And today I've got to lay it all out for you, because 3 huge storylines are shaking things up in Seattle and could change the entire course of this season. Picture this: a young pass rusher breaking out into stardom, a surprising roster move that shakes up the running back room, and growing concerns about the speed in the wide receiver group that might mess with the chemistry between our quarterback and his targets. All of this is happening at the same time, and I'm here to break down every detail, every angle, and every analysis that can show us exactly where this team is standing right now. But before we dive in, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell, because today's video is unmissable, and if you're a real 12, you don't want to miss out on this conversation. The first big story is all about Derick Hall. That name, which already started catching attention last year, is now one of the most intriguing pieces of Seattle's defense. Drafted in the second round back in 2023, Hall had a quiet rookie season, not even recording a single sack. To most people, he looked like just another young guy trying to find a role on a loaded roster. But in 2024, everything flipped: 8 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, and 2 forced fumbles. He finished second on the team, right behind veteran Leonard Williams. And that leap didn't come by accident. Hall went through a brutal offseason, focused on refining his burst off the line of scrimmage and getting sharper with his hands against opposing tackles. Analysts like Mike Sock are already putting him in the top 5 most exciting players to watch in Seattle this year, and it's easy to see why. If Hall can turn good into great, he could reshape the entire defense. Jumping from 8 to 10 or 12 sacks isn't just about numbers, it's about becoming the piece that balances the whole front 7. Think about it: when you've got a reliable edge rusher, opposing coordinators are forced to change their game plan, double teams, tight end help, the whole deal. That opens the door for Leonard Williams to dominate inside and gives guys like Uchenna Nwosu more freedom to find their groove. DeMarcus Lawrence, brought in to solidify the run game, can lock into his specialty without stretching thin. And above all, the secondary gets the payoff of more consistent pressure, with quarterbacks having way less time to take shots downfield. That's why this is such a huge deal. Seattle needs an elite pass rusher. Hall's got the frame, the technique, and now the confidence to chase that spot. If he blows up, this defense could finally make the leap that fans have been dreaming of since the end of the Legion of Boom era. This kind of development can take a defense from competitive to game-changing against anyone in the league. But a season isn't built on defense alone. And that's where the fanbase got rocked in another area. Seattle cut rookie running back Damian Martinez, a 7th round pick, as part of the practice squad shuffle. Martinez came in with hype, having racked up more than 3,100 rushing yards in college at Oregon State and Miami. With his big frame and bruising style, he looked like the perfect complement to Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. Fans were buzzing, picturing a versatile 3-headed monster that could give defenses nightmares. But the competition was ruthless. George Holani took the 3rd spot in the rotation, leaving Martinez on the outside. He was released along with a few others to make room for guys like Sateo Alaume and Anthony Campbell. The top of the depth chart is still Walker and Charbonnet, but the move raises questions. Did Seattle pull the plug too early on a raw talent who could have been molded? We all know John Schneider has a history of taking bold swings. Over the years, the Seahawks have unearthed hidden gems from late picks and even undrafted players. So when a rookie like Martinez gets cut this quickly, some fans feel like something slipped away. Of course, there's the other side. The NFL is a league where decisions are made for the now. Schneider and Mike McDonald made it clear they're prioritizing immediate depth in critical spots, even if it means cutting ties with fresh faces. That's the harsh reality of the league. Raw talent doesn't always translate to success. Martinez's release shows a Seahawks front office that's constantly tweaking the roster, week by week, to keep the balance right. But for the fans, it stings. What if he was one of those guys who just needed the right environment to shine? Those what-ifs are part of what fuels the passion of this fan base. And while the defense is on the rise and the backfield sees tough cuts, the offense faces a different kind of challenge, speed, or the lack of it, in the wide receiver core. With DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett gone, Seattle heads into 2025 with Jackson Smith-Njigba as the top target, backed by Jake Bobo, Cody White, and Derek Young. To add balance, the team brought in veteran Cooper Kupp and rookie Torrey Horton. But losing Marquez Valdes-Scantling to the 49ers left a glaring hole, no real vertical threat to stretch the field. That might sound minor, but it's huge. The modern NFL thrives on big plays. Without receivers who can win deep, your offense becomes predictable. Defenses start crowding the line of scrimmage, clamping down on runs and short passes. Right now, only Horton and Young clock sub 4.5 40-yard dash times, but together they've got just 2 career catches. JSN is solid, averaging 10.8 yards per grab, but he hasn't proven himself as a legit deep threat. And that's a problem when you remember Sam Darnold's track record. Last year in Minnesota, he thrived with receivers averaging over 13 yards per catch and tight ends pulling 11 or more. He's at his best staying in the pocket, letting routes develop, and then dropping dimes deep downfield. Without speedy targets to do that in Seattle, he could lose one of his best weapons. That's where Michael Gallup comes into the picture. At 29, he's averaged 14.1 yards per catch over his career. He briefly stepped away from the game in 2023 but is pushing for a comeback now. He didn't stick with Washington, but what he brings is exactly what Seattle lost with MBS, vertical juice. Sure, there are risks, time off the field and recent struggles leave question marks. But compared to Kupp, who's past 30 and dealing with injuries, Gallup still has the youth and freshness to add speed. He may not be the long-term solution, but he could restore a critical element to Darnold's offense. At the end of the day, the Seahawks are in the middle of a heavy transition. The defense looks ready to level up with Hall, the backfield proves the front office won't hesitate to make tough calls like cutting Martinez, and the passing game faces a pressing need for speed. 3 different storylines, but all tied to the same mission, finding balance in a brutal division with the 49ers and Rams breathing down our necks. And now it's your turn, 12s. Which of these situations do you think could truly define the Seahawks season? Hall's breakout as a pass rusher, the unexpected cut of Martinez, or the need to bring in someone like Gallup to give the offense its spark back? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because it's the back and forth with this community that keeps this channel strong. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because here, you'll never miss the biggest updates on our team. Let's show the world the power of the 12s. Go Hawks!